All anyone has been able to talk about since the start of 2020 is the current COVID-19 pandemic because, frankly, it has impacted every single person's life on the planet. But after the culmination of hard work from the most brilliant virologists in the world, there is hope to a final end of this pandemic in the form of a new COVID-19 vaccine. The rollout of this vaccine began rather smoothly as people were excited about the idea of life returning to whatever we considered normal. But as time went on, people began to question the vaccine and the science behind it. There is very high levels of criticism over the safety of the vaccine, and much of this criticism is false and not backed up by science. So today, we'll be looking at two infographics that were created to ensure people of the safety of this new vaccine. In the first infographic, we immediately see a bombardment of information that the vaccine and how it works. According to Manor Sheikh, one reason to create an infographic is to create awareness or spread word about an important cause. This infographic does create awareness by showing the scientific facts about the vaccine. However, an infographic should also summarize longer content. This infographic does not display a clean design, but rather copious amounts of facts and reading. When an infographic is as wordy as this, it can lose the attention of the reader. Now, let's move on to the next infographic. This infographic displays a somewhat different approach of spreading awareness about the vaccine. Many people have misconceptions on how the vaccine works, and I believe this infographic summarizes the way it works and the way it was made in a very clean way. I want to emphasize how important it is that a design is clean. Daniel Higginbotham put it the best when he said, "Clean designs reduce the effort needed to find information." It is not too wordy, and it displays appealing visual designs that simplifies the information in a well thought out way. However, there is information missing on this design. This shows how the vaccine works and briefly describes the benefits of it, but does not emphasize the safeness of the vaccine, which is the goal. So to summarize, the two infographics found online do have good qualities, but both of them are missing certain elements that take them from good infographics to great infographics. The first one was not visually appealing enough, and the second one did not provide enough information for the target audience. The target audience wants information that they can quickly attain and that it is information that contributes to an overall positive feeling about the vaccine. Now, moving on to my infographic, this is part one of the infographic that I created in an attempt to expand upon the previous two I displayed. In order to create the most well-rounded infographic, I took items from the previous two as well as finding a bit of my own information to create something new and improved. In order to prove the safeness of the vaccine, I first want to display in a clean way the facts on the amount of testing the vaccine has gone through, as well as facts on how a vaccine is approved for use. For part two, I wanted to touch on the common myths associated with the vaccine, as there are so many misconceptions floating around. I also wanted to describe how the vaccine compares to traditional vaccines, as shown in the second infographic I displayed earlier. It is important to keep an infographic about a topic like this as least wordy as possible in the first part in order to draw people in, then display more facts at the end after you've caught people's attention. This was one aspect of my critical thinking process. I wanted to determine the most effective way to present the information. As mentioned earlier, after I drew my audience in, I unloaded the rest of the important information in this last part of the infographic. I used a creative thinking process to come up with this way of presenting the information, as I found that I myself get drawn into infographics with more pictures and less words, and am then hooked for the remainder of the information. In summary, when we put everything together, my infographic takes important positives from both of the previous infographic and adds a little bit of spice to create this new and improved infographic that correctly depicts the safeness and effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccine. Hopefully, more infographics like these will circulate the internet and educate more people on the importance of getting the vaccine, and hopefully, I convinced you.